Long Bright River. I picked this because it takes place in Philadelphia. It's a drama set in Philadelphia, Kensington to be exact. It stars Amanda Seyfried. Why is it every time I butcher? Why is it every time I'm unsure of a last name? I'm always counting on one of you to tell me the real pronunciation.
I'm not, because if I fuck it up, I'll get crucified too, man.
I was gonna look it up earlier, and then I was like, you know what? I'll just ask Tony tonight how to pronounce it. So you completely threw me off here.
God damn it!
Hold on, I'm looking. Pronounce it for me. Seyfried.
Okay. Yes, Long Bright River.
AI told me.
Amanda Seyfried. Yeah, she is a cop who works in Kensington, which is a real life place in Philadelphia that has a horrible, it's had a drug problem for decades, but it's gotten worse. And there's someone going around killing sex workers, and this upsets her because we learned that her sister is one of the missing women. But she doesn't want people to know that really. So she takes a personal interest in this case, even though she's not a detective. She's trying her best to figure out what's going on because a lot of the murders are being written off as just overdoses. But she believes that they aren't. But yeah, it ends up becoming more and more personal as the show goes on. And yeah, this was a pretty gripping drama.
Did you watch all of it?
I watched all of it. I actually got pretty invested at some point.
Really?
I just watched all of it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not like the best thing ever. There is some like man bad scenes in it. Like, you're a man, you're bad. But mostly I just got invested in the main character and like I wanted to know more about like her connections to her family. There were some curveballs that I was not expecting, like who the kid's dad is. Yeah, and for the first time in a long time, I watched a whodunit and I wasn't able to predict who the killer was like right away. I had like an idea at like some point, but like a lot of times when I watch like a Scream movie or something, I'm like, it's that guy or it's that lady. It's so obvious. But this one, I kind of just kept going because I'm like, I just want to see who the killer is. But yes, they did not film in Philly at all. They filmed in New York, but look, I don't spend a lot of time.
It does look like more of a New York vibe than it does Philly vibe.
It does, but there are like certain areas where they made it look like Philly enough. There were some buildings that do look like Philly. Like there's that one part.
It looked like a city. It was a city.
Yes, conveniently places in New York look like Philly because they're so
because
close.
It's a city.
Also, she's from Allentown. I didn't know she was from Allentown. It is weird. She doesn't have a thick Philly accent, which is fine. Not everyone does. I don't. Although I say weird things like Saul and sliding board, which I learned is not a thing people say.
Sliding board.
Skateboard? The skateboard, Tony.
See, what are you talking about?
No. All right. So this is going to be in the Judge Dredd episode. I said the term sliding board for a slide, like at a playground.
Yeah.
And, you think this is normal, Crystal? No,
Yeah.
It turns out that is a very local term to Philadelphia and the surrounding area.
A sliding board?
Yeah,
I've never
Dick
heard
and
that.
Vito ripped me apart for saying sliding board, and I was going through shock. I'm like, have I been saying it wrong my whole life?
But
And
it's
I Googled it, and it's literally just Philadelphia and surrounding area. We're the only ones who say it.
What?
But it was weird that she didn't really have the thick Philly
It's
accent.
put on the sliding board. Like, I don't understand.
It's not a sliding board.
But it is.
A sliding board.
But what is it?
A sliding board is something you lay on to go under a car. It's just a slide. It's just slide.
Gil,
Anyway.
we're a bunch of New Yorkers in a Philly sandwich right now. It's getting scary over here.
Get it. It's a sliding board.
No, we're wrong.
Slide down
We're
the board.
wrong. We are wrong.
No, it's not. We're
Point I'm
special.
trying to make is she's from
Leave us
Allentown.
alone.
Tony, this was supposed to be.
Hoagies.
I was looking for a controversy-free stream.
Sorry.
This
Listen.
is not good.
The point I've been trying to make, Crystal is going through the same shock that I did when I found out I was wrong. She is from Allentown, doesn't have a Philly accent. The girl playing her sister, who's Australian, has like the most authentic Philly Delco accent I've ever heard. And I've actually heard people say that people from Philadelphia sound Australian to people who aren't from around here. I don't think we sound Australian, but apparently the accent sounds similar to other people. So the fact that an Australian pulled it off is pretty funny. But yeah, I got invested in it. Joey, did you watch any of this?
I did. I am almost done with it. I'm very invested, like you said. Side note on the accent thing. For years, my friends have always roasted me for having like a Philly Delco accent, and I grew up in fucking New York, but I pinned it down while watching this.
I think you were Australian this whole time.
It's because I fucking grew up on like Philly skate videos as a kid, and I was just indoctrinated. This movie really made me a bit sad because I spent a lot of time in the city, New York City, of course, the superior city, as a child skating through these very poor and drug infested neighborhoods. And I remember like how scared I was as a kid, like just hanging around these fucking people. And it brought up a lot of weird feelings that I forgot about. And I got that same feeling while seeing the very uncomfortable shots of all the terrible areas in this show. But I would not have normally watched this show if you didn't tell me. And I'm kind of glad you put it on the list because I'm really fucking enjoying it.
Well,
honestly.
I saw
I'm
Philadelphia,
really invested.
and I'm like, Philly, I got to check it out. I do know some cops. Apparently, they're not thrilled with the show because it's not the most accurate. I'm like, of course it's not gonna. It's a show.
They must love Daredevil.
Yeah.
No, I think they're more like about like the procedural part of it, like the realistic stuff. Gil, what did you think of Long Bright River?
I watched the first episode. I thought it was solid. If you're looking for a crime, drama, thriller, whodunit kind of series, Amanda Seyfried did a great job in the role. Likable character, compelling. I feel like they do a really good job of making these parts of the city look very intimidating. And for her to walk into them kind of with more confidence and empathy than any of the other characters, I think it really works. Also, I like that her partner, who kind of comes across like a jackass sometimes, but you see shades of him trying and her sometimes giving him a little leeway, though from your mini review at the beginning, it sounds like maybe that goes the other way as the season goes on. But it's like, Joey, you were saying, it's not the kind of thing I would normally watch, but I enjoyed the first episode. Probably not going to keep watching, but only because I have so many other things I need to watch. But enjoyable, solid.
Crystal, what did you think?
It was okay. Like,
Yeah,
that's pretty
that
much
was a
it.
quicker way to say that. I should have said that.
It was okay.
Are you
I
invested?
probably
Are you
also
going to continue watching?
no. It
Okay.
was. I only watched it because you said, "Hey, watch it. It's supposed to be based in Philly," and I was trying to listen to see if there was Philly accents, and then I realized I can't hear a Philly accent. Like it's just unless it's like over dramatic, it's just normal to me. It's what I just.
If you guys want to hear a Philly accent on the show, watch any episode with either Prison Mike or Lauren Soda. Those are the most Philly accent on the show. Johanna has it a little bit. Yours is a little too Jersey. Frank has the Philly accent, but it gets a little too Guido. No, Lauren Soda, Prison Mike. That is the authentic, thick Philly accent.
Yeah.
And there's only a few characters in the show that sound like that.
Yeah. Well, this show just reminded me of like an SVU mixed with Lifetime. Like
Yeah, I
it's
can see
definitely targeted because it was very heavy on like that she's the only like female. Look, I only saw the first episode, so yeah, her being the only female, the only one that's carrying, and I was like, okay, this feels very predictable. It feels very Lifetime-y SVU. Just I kind of get it. Just not in the mood for that. I feel like you have to be in the mood to watch that. I'm surprised you guys did you guys get hooked on the first episode or after?
Probably took the second episode, probably.
I think what it was I kept forgetting about Electric State. And I wasn't able to see Novocaine because I was sick. So I think like as I was like getting over the sickness, I just kept throwing episodes on in between edits. And then the one night I was like, screw it, let me just binge all of it. Yeah, it works. I think it could have been whittled down into just like a movie. I don't think it needed to be like a 8-episode mini series. But yeah, I think it's good. I enjoy it. I'd say check it out. It's definitely a white lady show.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Definitely
1,000%.
is.
If my sister wasn't married to a cop and just assumed all cop shows are negative, she would love this. I keep telling her to check it out. But yeah, enough about cops and drama and crime. We got other things to talk about, all right? Like Daredevil, Born Again, baby.